Another wonderful housing debrief. I believe this is the 100th episode. I should do the math. I definitely should do the math, right? All righty. Well, we'll do the math down the road. I think this is the 100th episode. I'll let you know next week. Working on all the numbers, all the data. Didn't have enough time to crunch how many episodes we've done. I think I said it a couple weeks ago that I'm almost at my 100th episode. So, anyways, we are here. Happy Thursday. Used to be happy Friday, but happy Thursday at 3 o'clock. This allows me plenty of time to put these things together and leave a hole in my schedule so that I can focus on some what I'm seeing, the trends and in all the statistics and data, as well as things that I'm hearing on the street. Allows me to pick up the phone, talk to a lot of agents and buyers and sellers out there to see exactly what's going on. So that is what I am interested in doing, is seeing what the latest and greatest is, and then bringing this, of course, to you live on a Thursday afternoon. And here we are, another wonderful Thursday afternoon. So I hope you enjoy this housing debrief. And here we go. Let's go ahead and get started. Here we are. So, got to turn the clicker. I'm asking everybody to like and subscribe, and of course, over to YouTube and subscribe there. That would be absolutely fantastic. That way, we can go ahead and get as many eyeballs on what's really going on, so that everybody can properly set expectations for their families and friends, and make really good grown-up decisions that are based in fact rather than narratives that so many people are getting into as to where we're going with the housing market. And like I said, when you're in housing as much as somebody like myself is a housing analyst, and you look at the numbers and you see where we've been before, you have a pretty good grip on where we're going and what it's going to take for certain things to happen, such as the bubbles and the foreclosure waves and a real giant slowdown, properties going down rather than going up, the inflation of properties. So we're able to see it based upon all of the track record of everything that we've seen in the past, and it's like we've seen this book before. So I've seen this book before. Of course, the characters somewhat change a little bit, and some of the settings change a little bit, but by and large, we know pretty much the direction of where we are headed based upon all that. So I'm asking you to like and subscribe. Go to YouTube, Reports on Housing. If you haven't done that in the past, please do. That would be absolutely fantastic. Of course, I'm going to start off with something funny. Client, I'm looking for something luxurious, but not too expensive. Realtor, say no more. The Louis Vuitton house. That's what I said anyways, that California prices are so high that there aren't that many people coming from other states to California. So we're like the Louis Vuitton of all states. And then we get this. This is absolutely fantastic. I can't wait to share it when I'm doing that. The track record of where we are as far as the number of people that are leaving the state of California versus entering. I do analysis of that every once in a while. And I'm going to use that photo. Here's another fun photo. A real estate agent sent me down in San Clemente, and this is just absolutely fantastic. Everything you need right here, right? You have in case you need a beer, or if you're going to be on the commode for too long, there you go. And look how high up the toilet paper is. I thought that was interesting as well. You can take a shower. Everything's right there, everything you need. And of course, your feet are going to be dangling a little bit because you can see the toilet's up there on top of like a real pedestal. So just an interesting photo altogether. So how to approach slowing housing. I get asked this quite a bit. Should I be looking at purchasing? Should I wait? What should I do? And it is very, very confusing, especially when you hear so much information out there, and what I refer to a lot of it as misinformation. So really what you want to do is you really want to hunker down and analyze and take a look at your family budget. And I've said it before, if you are, and I try to look for a picture of this, but I really can't, but If you're an adult asking me whether I should buy, well, then maybe you're not ready to buy because you haven't sat down and done your budget. Because really, at the end of the day, is you figure out how much you can afford on a monthly basis. You also take into consideration what rents are out there, because rents are skyrocketing. They're continuing to go up. So you got to take into consideration rents. But you got to analyze how much you can afford on a monthly basis. And based upon that, then you sit down with the lender and you do the reverse engineering, say, this is how much we can afford, what kind of a house are we looking at? And then you make a decision, okay, wait, got to save a little bit more so I can get a bigger house or whatever it is. So when you are ready to go, you're ready to go to make that purchase. And that's basically what everything boils down to. Regardless of how great the market is or how affordable the market is, it really becomes an individual decision as to what it means to your budget, your family budget. And you too can do the math and sit down and take a look at it and then decide, hey, you know what? I want to look for homes. You meet up with a realtor, and the realtor has you pre-qualified. And then, of course, you go through and start touring houses. And eventually, hopefully, you sign a contract and you purchase your home. You get a piece of the American dream. But you have to go into it with the proper expectations. And there's no better way of having the proper expectations by having facts, data, and statistics. That's really what you can rely on. Not some of these YouTube people that put out these videos that talk about how things are going to crash, and how I think it was realtor.com talked about the 10 cities where properties are going down. I don't even understand where they even came up with that, because I'm looking at the data and the statistics and all that stuff, and it just does not hold water. We've had values continuing to scream upwards, and medians can change from month to month. You can have medians go up and down from a month to month. That doesn't necessarily mean where real, true, honest values are like for like properties. We know that they're continuing to go up, and there is not a market right now that is really being saved as far as values coming down or anything along those lines. So what I really don't want to see is a bunch of buyers sitting on the fence after taking a look and doing the math, because what I hear from so many people is that they want to time the market. They're waiting for the market to crash or collapse or values to come down. But I'm here right now to tell you that that's just not going to work, because I've talked about cracks before, but the kind of cracks I'm talking about, and I mentioned this last week, is going from, over 220 miles per hour in a car, which is reckless, and shifting. This year is all about the shift to decelerating, not going in reverse, but decelerating in how quickly this market is moving. We're going from over 220 miles per hour to 70 miles per hour, or 60, 50, or 45 miles per hour. We'll see where we end up at the end of the year, and it can really slow to like 45 miles per hour. And compared to where we were at the very beginning of this year or towards the end of last year, it's a definite shift of how fast the market had been to where it will be. But it's not going to go in reverse. That's the thing. And I talked about what it is. As far as those people that are considering that there's a bubble, that this thing is going to explode, and people have different bubble indexes, and they have different handles. They have Facebook channels or Instagram or Twitter where they talk about bubbles. They have bubble indexes, everything bubblicious, and they've been talking about bubbles for so long that it's one of those things where if you're talking about bubbles forever, that it's not very bubblicious if you're talking about it for a super long time. And if there were behaviors like there were prior to the Great Recession, then I understand talking about a prolonged, protracted bubble, but that is not what we're dealing with today. That's not what the focus of this topic is, because the key ingredient missing from values going down, and we talked about it last week, is supply. We are totally missing a ton of supply. And so I want buyers to have the proper expectations of the market. And the best way to have the proper expectations of the market and how to proceed going forward is by taking a look at where supply is right now, available number of homes, where it's going in the future, as where is demand right now, and where is it going in the future, so that you can see how fast the market is right now, how fast it will be towards the end of this year. And then you can make a decision as to, with your family budget and how many houses are out there available right now that you're looking at, when is it that you want to make a move? Because if you look at it today, we have 18,721 homes on the market. It's up 1,884 homes in a 2-week period of time. So remember, I do this every 2 weeks. That's up 15%. And if you look at, it's been up 28% in the last 4 weeks, or up 4,134 homes in a 4-week period of time. Now, this is a big movement, but you can see these last 2 weeks, the incline wasn't as large as the 2 weeks prior, and I'll explain why that happened. It has a bit to do with demand and another thing, but you can see it is going up and it's continuing to elevate. As a matter of fact, we have more homes on the market year over year than it started. Not this time, but 2 weeks ago is when we surpassed it. So we actually have more homes on the market than last year. And according to Realtor.com, there are more homes on the market right now than last year for this first time since 2019. We did it 2 weeks prior. It's now a countrywide thing. And I also follow Altos Research, and they said it's imminent. It's probably going to happen maybe when they go live on Monday. They'll announce all that stuff. And last year, we were at 16,556. It was down 12%, or it's 2,165 homes less than where we are today. So that disparity is starting to grow. So the year over year is beginning to be quite large, and it will stay here for quite some time. As long as we have these interest rates that stay elevated above 4.5% with duration, because recently they've come down a little bit over 0.25%, like 0.3%. And so they've come down a little bit. They're still above 5, and they're still like 5.3%. They're still high, but they're starting to come down. So the 3-year average prior to COVID, 2017, 18, and 19, is 38,446. That is 105% more than where we are today. It's a little bit over double. Now, this was almost triple at the start of the year, and now it's only double. So the disparity is getting smaller. It's just we're at less than 19,000 homes on the market right now, and we're 38,000 for that 3-year average. So there's still quite a bit of ground to make up. Now, keep in mind, when I'm talking about we're finally getting inventory, but we're just going to get back towards normal levels prior to the pandemic, when the market was appreciating at a much more normal rate, about 5% per year. And in 2007, when there was the right at the start of the Great Recession, we had 120,000 homes on the market. We're not even at 20,000 right now for all of Southern California. So for all of Southern California in 2007, 120,000 homes. Yeah, we had just as many homes as we have right now today in all of SoCal that we had in just Orange County alone back in 2007. So you can understand that was where we had a glut of homes, and we have just very few homes in the market now. And where are we going from here? We are going to continue to go up as far as the inventory is concerned for the rest of the year, and it's going to try to make its way back to 2019 levels, which was towards the end of the year was really coming down really rather steeply. But we're going to try to make our way back towards averages. I don't think we're going to quite make it all the way up there, but it will peak between October and Thanksgiving. And it could be right shy of 35,000, which would still be good. But then, of course, we get to the point where not that many homes come on the market, and people pull their homes off the market, and it will go down. And people are going, how are we going to build this inventory when it normally peaks during the summer, but it peaks a little bit late? We talked about it last time. It's going to be on the backs of overpriced properties that will not sell. That's going to come, especially the second half of the year. And properties that are dogs, that look like dogs, smell like dogs, that are our dogs, and are priced right at that last comp, they're still not going to sell either in properties in inferior locations. So that's how we're going to build our inventory, but there is a but. The number of homes coming on the market, the 3-year average price of COVID, 2017 and 2019, if you compare like 2020, 21, and so far this year, you're going to see that in 2020, we were missing 29,000 homes. In 2021, we were missing 20,000. That was 11% off, 7% off. So far, January to April, we're missing close to 15,000 homes in just a 4-month period of time. That's off 16%. So this is a new trend that has developed. Has nothing to do with COVID or anything along those lines. You could see the trend in those orange lines. You can see how it is less than the prior years. The only time that it was a little bit more than the prior years was 2 years ago, 2020, and that was in the months of March and April. Of course, we had put a lot fewer homes on the market because we were just starting the pandemic back then. We had all the lockdowns. And but there is this new trend that has developed, and this trend is people are staying in their home because of rising home prices, and they also, with these higher mortgage rates, they know that they can't sell and purchase something else. They're not necessarily in love with their home, they're in love with their home loan. And I've done the math for you before. I'm going to show you really quick. If you move up, and this is the math that we did a few episodes back, but I'm just going to go over really quick. This is a real life example. If you bought at 665 in 2015 and you sell today at $1 million, the proceeds are $380,000, and now you want to purchase at $1.2 million. Well, the issue is this, that the monthly increase at $1.2 million after putting that $380,000 is $2,600 per month. And the annual increase is $31,200. Now, if they had the interest rate that they had before, they were looking at a $17,000 annual increase. But because interest rates jumped as much as they did, now the increase is $31,000 per year, and they're saying, I do not want to sell my home and purchase something else. And they're more than happy in staying where they are. They're more than happy kicking back, watching TV, staying home, and instead go to Cancun, go to Paris, France. They could do a lot with $31,000 every single year. So I'd like to thank our sponsor and our wonderful sponsor, my buddy, Kevin Buddy at Monarch Coast Financial. And he deals with more than one kind of borrower and more than one kind of loan, of course, and deals with everything from full documentation loans to alternative documentation loans to investor financing and even private money loans. And he has loads of experience. He's been doing this since 1976. He's my buddy, your buddy, Kevin Buddy at Monarch Coast Financial. He helped my family out and did such a fantastic job. I refer him to everybody. Contact Kevin Buddy and let him help you too. 949-422-2075. That's 949-422-2075. And thanks again, Kevin, for your continued sponsorship. We really appreciate it. Now let's get into the demand numbers. The demand numbers look like this. 15,138, that's down 1% or down 88 pending sales. You can see how it's flatlined. The lowest level since tracking began in 2012 is right now. So still it's the lowest level. And if you discount 2020, because 2020 we had the shutdowns. Last year at this time we were close to 20,000, so it's 30% higher as far as pending sales is concerned, and that's 4,617 more. The 3-year average is right around 18,000, which is 18% higher. So you can see the number of escrows. This is a snapshot of the last 30 days worth of escrow activity. That's how I look at demand. It is really less than where we were prior. And some of that is fewer homes on the market. Some of that is, of course, these higher interest rates. Typically, there's a 2% rise in demand at this time of the year, and instead, it's kind of flatlined. But from here, it's actually not going to continue to go down as far as demand. It's going to slowly but surely go down like it normally does. It's just going to be less than it was in prior years. Demand out there, period. There's still people looking for houses. They don't want to rent. They want to own. And so how fast is this market moving? It has 8 weeks ago, we were at 24-day expected market time. Today, we're at a 37-day expected market time. You can see it's actually gone up a 2-week period of time in just it was 24 days, which is really hot. It's at 37, which is still hot. It's just not as instantaneous as it was before. And it's almost above 40-day threshold, which is insanity. And last year we were at 25 days and the 3-year average is 65 days. And I want everybody to know that we are only going to go up and we're going to make our way towards above 60. And that's about as high as it's going to get. You need to be above 120 for it to even be a slight buyer's market. And for it to be a big buyer's market where we're really seeing values come down, you have to be above 150. We're not going to get there anytime soon, that's for sure. And as far as properties still selling for over their asking or auction-like atmosphere, and I'm hearing all these stories that are out there. It's froth, and I'm here to tell everybody out there, make a smart decision. Buyers, do not overpay for a house. You pay $200,000 above the last comp. As these values start to decelerate from 20% down to 5%, later on this year, somebody's going to look at that house that sold for $200,000 more. It's a buyer, and they're looking at something that's similar, and they go, I'm not paying $200,000 more than that other one. Nope. And instead, they're going to pay what that last one was at, and that buyer that purchased now $200,000 above is going to get burned and is going to have a hard time waiting for values to come up to where they purchased. So where you're going to get the most bang for your buck, look for overpriced properties that are around for a few weeks, a month. They're going to be more apt to work with you. So if you want to copy this, you need to be a subscriber. You'll automatically get a copy. You can go to reportsonhousing.com, click on subscribe, and we have reports that dot all over Southern California. It's $15 per month or $150 per year. You get the first month free if you sign up utilizing the coupon code PRICES. And the last one is called Unexpected Slump in Demand. You'll get this most recent one if you sign up. And on Monday, we have a new one that's coming out. So you'll get one now and you'll get one on Monday. So that's all I have. Of course, it wouldn't be a house and debrief if I didn't introduce you to some amazing people. Here's somebody. Who's this? What's your name, dude? Ezekiel. Say hello to everybody. Hello. So what did you do today? Anything fun?
Yeah.
Talk right up there. Look at the camera right up there. Say anything you have fun to say. Yeah.
Have an open house for mom and dad.
You did have an open house for mom and dad at preschool. We went today. Wasn't that fun?
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate it. Who do we have here? Oh, he's fixing his hair. There he is. What's your name?
Mason.
Cool. That's really cool. Anything special that you want to say to your audience?
Nothing.
Nothing.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. All right, who do we have here? I don't know if she's really shy.
Excuse me. On opposite day.
What's your name? State your age.
Okay. Athena, 11, almost 12.
Oh,
in
right.
like 2 months.
Yeah, if you call August 2 months from now.
4 months.
Thanks for math. Great math over there.
5 months.
No.
Anything important that you want to say? Anything important you want to say?
I have a soccer tournament this weekend.
All right, dude. We're gonna crush soccer tournament.
Wish me luck.
Good luck,
and I'm a
folks.
track meet this weekend.
Want to say something?
Nothing to say.
Yeah, I have a daughter here. What's your name? State your name. State your age.
Mia.
How old are you?
15.
Oh, wow. Yes, it's almost time to get a behind the wheel of a car, isn't it?
Yeah.
Right here. Good to see you. Anything you want to say to the masses?
No.
All right. Thank you so much for joining us.
Bye.
We appreciate it. Everybody have a good one. We'll see